For a long time, I thought I needed to control the outcome to feel safe. But control didn't actually give me clarity. It just kept my anxiety busy. When I stopped trying to manage what was going to happen next, something shifted. Clarity didn't disappear. I reclaimed my center. I stopped seeking reassurance and outsourcing for safety and just constantly checking in and explaining or just redeciding things. And I'm always noticing that when I was chasing reassurance from a thought, from plans, from certainties, I just needed that for control. It was my safety net. And when I stopped doing that, my nervous system just settled in a deeper way. I felt calm and I felt good and I want it in my life. And the moment I realized that instead of reaching outwards for answers, I came back to myself. I came back to just reclaiming my own center. It was not depending on an outcome and just letting the energy flow through your body and knowing that everything will all work out. I've learned that that point of reference was the key to me staying calm in important decision making parts of my life where instead of reacting, I just settled in back to my center. And meditation has been something that I always come back to because it makes me feel at home. It's a time where I can connect deeper to myself. It's that date I have where it's just me, my soul, and God. And so for me, that just became a safety net and I made it into a hobby and not even letting control take over. Because I remember first when I started meditating, I would always try to make it structure where it has to be a certain time, a certain day, and for this long. But realizing that that was me trying to control an outcome of a meditation. So I just had to let that part of me release. And the moment I did that, I sunk in surrender. The 3 minutes extended to 15 minutes. The 15 minutes extended to 30 minutes. And the 30 minutes extended to an hour because I enjoy doing it. I let go of that control of knowing that it's okay to want to come inward. It's okay to feel peace because it's normal. Normalizing peace is what we forget. We think peace is a luxury, right? But it should be every day. It should be a gift to yourself to sink into peace and stillness and allow the body to regulate in a way where you're breathing. Your breath is calming you down. And you're not chasing for an outcome. You're not chasing for the next answer outside of you. Because the answer is within. And that's where the true connection lies, is creating this relationship with yourself first. In my last video with self-love, I talked about you can't love anyone else until you love yourself first. And that mantra is something that I live with. Because if I don't enjoy it, how can I share it for other people to experience? And that's the key, is learning that you come first. You know, Molly Vaughn, is she okay? Is she happy? Is she, excited to say yes? And we forget that. We forget about ourselves, the relationship that we have. As we realize when we want to get into relationships with other people, for example, a friendship or even a love partnership or a business partnership. If you don't have that relationship with yourself, trusting yourself first, the other relationship won't work out. And if you continue that relationship with other people, with other business partners, or with other friendship, you start to see the same pattern keep happening. And you ask yourself, how come that just keeps happening to me every single time? because you didn't trust yourself from the beginning to know your own worth, to know your own boundaries, to know that it's okay to say no. It's okay to want that peace first because it makes you happy, not what the other person wants. Because your happiness comes from within. We think that you have to please other people to be happy. If they're not happy, I'm not going to be happy. That whole thought process, like I've learned, doesn't work, because that's when people start to take advantage of us for our kindness. People start to take advantage of us because they know we'll always say yes. My teacher said the seva is to do an act of service. And in order to do an act of service to help someone else, you have to know that you can help yourself first before you can help someone else. It's the same thing when you're on the plane with the safety is, you put your oxygen mask first and then you can help the other person. Because if you're not breathing, if you're not able to live, how are you going to be able to save other people? I also stopped forcing time, because timing was something that I felt I had to do in a controlled way, where it was, I need to get this done by this time, or at this age I should be married and have kids, right? Or my career should be successful. And that creates this dynamic of putting pressure into her body because you want a certain outcome at a certain time. And I always say, if anything happens, just let it flow. It's always gonna happen when you're ready for it. And sometimes when the outcome doesn't come your way, it's just ways to think of, maybe it wasn't meant for me. Maybe it's not the right timing. And letting go of expectation and really just allowing yourself to be aware that you're not demanding reassurance into your body. You're not demanding clarity and demanding control, because that energy is created with anxiety. It creates stress. It creates this fight or flight movement in the body, and you're not able to come back to center. Really creating self-trust, because when I realized it wasn't about letting go for someone else or a situation, I learned to trust myself with self-trust over anxiety. So I always choose self-trust over anxiety, because anxiety is just gonna keep you stressed and you're gonna be running around like a maniac. So that choice just changed everything for me, because I chose to have self-trust and I trust myself instead of choosing anxiety, because we all have a choice. I didn't become passive, I just became clear. It just slowed me down and gave me a clear decision, where I know if I came inward instead of seeking validation from someone else, I knew my own answer. My intuition was always going to guide me to the right decision. The key is trusting your own intuition, trusting your own body to say yes, to say no, to move forward. What it teaches us is, if you don't have the answers yet, go inward, keep going, and the answers will follow. Your body will know when it's right, and let the timing just flow instead of trying to grab with the timing. And it creates this resistance, and the resistance is what's going to keep you on this loop in this hamster wheel where you just keep going over and over and over. So the key is, to be clear, you have to be calm, collective, and just sitting in that stillness, practicing that, even if it's for 1 minute. Because if you can do the 1 minute, it extends to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes, and you keep adding on. That's gonna help you create this simple clarity within yourself. When you stop managing the outcome, you finally just hear yourself. You hear your own thoughts. It becomes clear, and you just trust.